you get a fight with Mayweather. Interesting.
It is. I mean, with that fight, it was very close with me and Cotto, and there's a lot of things a lot of mistakes I made in the fight that made it that close. Where, he got the decision. A lot of basic mistakes, but I think that a fight with Mayweather would still be attractive. A fight with Ricky Hatton would be attractive. It's just if the people want to see it or not.
That's Shane Moseley. And it is important to mention, and this happens all the time in boxing. A guy loses a close decision, and like 3 months later, we act as if he got blown out of the ring. And that fight was ultra close. It was I don't know if you had a chance to watch it again. It was really tough to score.
Yeah.
I thought there were like 3 or 4 swing rounds where hey, it could go either way.
Well, when I watch the fight, I see what the judges are trying to look at, and maybe the fans. Being in New York, the fans kind of gave him the edge because there's a lot of shots that he swung and not really hit, maybe hit the gloves, and they were screaming as if I got hit with a great shot. So the judge can be swayed by the crowd. There's a lot of times where I would win the whole round, and at the end of the round, he would throw like a 2-punch combination and hit me with a clean shot, and maybe they gave me a round. But I won the whole round. So I can see how the fight looked as it did, where it could have been a draw.
There's no doubt, over the history of boxing, the fights that I've covered, a crowd can absolutely affect the judges. There's no doubt about it. That's Shane Moseley. So, what mistakes did you make?
The mistake that I made was I was pulling straight out. I was pulling straight back. After I throw my shots and come in, that's what I think probably lost me the fight. I throw my combinations and my shots and hit him with it. And then I pull back. When I pull back, he'll throw a combination, maybe he'll hit one of the shots, and it'll look like he did more damage and then he won the round. So I think that was a key mistake that I made, pulling out.
I heard some media guys rave about his boxing ability. Was he a better boxer than you thought?
No, not really. I knew he was a good boxer, but I knew he was going to use it on me that night. I thought that maybe we was going to get to a good slugging fist match, and we did for a little bit, but he chose to bounce around the last couple of rounds, and I guess he felt he securing his victory or whatever.
Did you catch him at any point where you were like, man, that guy's a pretty good chin?
I did. I caught him a couple of shots. I thought maybe I would buckle him, and I did buckle him a lot, but he recovered real fast. I take my hat to Miguel Cotto. He's a great young fighter, great warrior, and a great world champion. He recovered fast, he trained very hard, and he did other things he's supposed to do in a fight.
What's his power like?
He has good power, but his power is consistent power.
Yeah.
So once he keeps landing, like body shots, head shots, he can wear you down. He's the type of guy that will actually wear you down over the course of a fight. He's not really a one-punch knockout puncher, but he is very strong.
Is he the kind of guy because of pace and because he pretty much can go the 10 or 12 rounds, whatever he needs to, and he keeps throwing punches, he's busy? Is he the kind of guy that, say, a Floyd Mayweather wouldn't want to fight because he hits hard and he's going to be in your face the whole time?
It's a contra. I think he's the guy that Floyd would want to fight, but I don't want to say it too loudly, but it's a guy because I think that he has a real hard time with guys that box. When I started boxing in the 6th or 7th round, I see a confused look on his face. I chose not to box him. I chose to go after him and try to fight him and try to finish him off. Mainly, maybe the crowd played too much into me wanting to knock him out than me boxing like I probably should have. If Mayweather does that, I think Mayweather might look a little bit easier for Mayweather if he boxes Cotto.
Well, let's talk about this fight. Super intriguing matchup. I still think it's amazing. Ricky Hatton's been around for a while. He hasn't gotten a lot of U.S. exposure, but it's almost as if this is kind of like his introduction, and he's the unknown guy. And he's a hell of a fighter. I don't know that the competition has been great all along the way, but he's fought some pretty good guys recently.
Costa is very good.
Costa at the time was thought of as an all-timer, 140 pounds. So.
Well, I mean, he was coming to the end of his rope too, probably, but he's still a good fighter. He has fast hands and he has great power. So for Ricky Hatton to be able to bounce around like he does and come in and get the shots off like he did with Costa, that's making a big statement.
How does Hatton, and we think he can push the pace, we think he can stay in front of him, but how does he do that without letting Floyd score an awful lot? He wants to stay busy, but how defensively can he avoid all those shots that are going to kind of puff him up?
Well, I'm not sure if he's going to be puffed up. I'm not sure that he's going to be trying to avoid a lot of shots. I think that he doesn't care about what Floyd does. He's coming after him. He's coming to throw punches. And that's kind of the attitude he had with Costa. He just went right to Katsu and started throwing punches, and Concept, being a knockout puncher that he is,
was kind of overwhelmed.
Was overwhelmed.
So you think if you smother Floyd, is it too dangerous, or is that kind of the approach to make him fight so that he can't fight at a distance?
It depends on the fighter, the way you smother him. You can't just go after him and smother him, because he'll pick you apart. The way Ricky Hatton fights, he's on his toes, bouncing back and forth from side to side. He's not flat-footed, so that makes it more of a difficult target to hit. And he's a little shorter, so Floyd's going to have to reach down a little bit. It's going to be a different type of fight than Floyd expects.
Shane Moseley, of course, working with Golden Boy, and right now kind of in limbo as to whether he's going to take another big fight out there. When you talk to Oscar afterwards, we don't get to talk to Oscar like you do. What did he say about Floyd and his power?
He said Floyd really didn't have that much power. It wasn't his power, it's his speed and his timing. I think that when Oscar was fighting him, you know, maybe he got a little tired in the later rounds and he couldn't keep up his jab and the punches that he liked to throw. But he didn't say much about it. He said the power wasn't really there. He really didn't have that much power. He just had a lot of speed and accuracy in his punches.
This is big for you. I mean, you know, whoever you get, who would you be more interested in fighting? You say this fight wasn't even happening.
I would probably more interested.
Mayweather?
I would probably more interested in fighting Mayweather. Even before the name to me, even before this fight, when I fought Luis Collazo for the WBC interim title, that was me to fight Mayweather after, to force him to fight. But he chose to fight Ricky Hatton, which is fine, and you know that fight's gonna take place.
So tell me, after a fight like Cotto, take me inside the boxer's mind. Everyone's different. Everyone doesn't fight for money, but you guys make nice money. Obviously, the two of them, Hatton or Mayweather, you're gonna get more money from a Mayweather fight after you lose to Cotto the next couple of days. Does it ever enter your head? You're like, God, you know, a couple of rounds here and there, and I just freaking cost myself, you know, whatever. Do you think like that?
When I watched the tape, one time I said, okay, if I would have did this or that, I know the fight would have been mine with no problem. But I didn't, and you know that's what happened. I lost the fight. A lot of people thought maybe I won. A lot of people thought it could have been a draw. A lot of people thought different things. But me as a fighter, I know that I'm supposed to do certain things, and I know that I know that I'm a better fighter than I showed that night. I know that I'm a better fighter. I believe, watching Miguel Cotto and me, I know I'm a better fighter than Miguel Cotto. And I should be able to beat guys like that with no problem. But, you know, I fought the wrong fight. I fought a fan type of fight where fans want to see punches being thrown from every angle. You know, I got hit, he got hit, we both was getting hit with different shots. So I fought that type of fight that the fans love, but I didn't fight the fight that I was supposed to fight.
Let's close out on this. Shane Moseley's with us on this fight. And I don't need a prediction. We talked about the crowd. You were affected by the crowd. Maybe the judges were affected by the crowd at MSG. How does the crowd work here? Because, you know, Floyd has fans, but it's a different kind of fan following, and it depends on how many Brits get in. I mean,
I hear it's like 20,000 Brits flying out here. So
I mean, I would assume they'll pay whatever it takes. I mean, you could have 40% of the house in favor of Ricky Hatton. How does that affect the fight with the fighters and the judges?
It's a different type of fan base. I mean, these fans are ruthless fans. I mean, they bring their band. I mean, they're coming in. They're, like they said, the Brits are invading. They're invading Vegas right now. I mean, they're coming in. You know, they're playing their drums, they're yelling, screaming. I don't know if our fans are like that. We cheer for our guy, and we're like, we're yeah. But they come to really support, and that could play a major part in the fight, especially if Ricky Hatton's allowed a lot more shots than usual, than Mayweather is used to being hit with, or that the people are used to seeing Mayweather get hit with. It can be a close fight. It could be an even fight like mine and Cotto's. But just because the fans are screaming and yelling and Floyd has never been hit by that many shots, it can go Ricky Hatton's back. They're both undefeated.
Looking forward to it. Hey, Shane, we appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, dude. Nice job.